First of all, there's nothing that costs nothing. You know, there's no free lunch. It's a famous, and things cost a lot of money. And you know, it sounds like a very good idea. Why don't we just impose 20% tax on something, and just, you know, it will all sort of work out. It's just we forgot to ask the public whether they want to pay 20% additional tax on their bill, which would be about 450 to 600 shekels every 2 months. You know, we just had an interesting experience with a 20-cent per liter tax that we imposed at the beginning of the year, and you all remember what happened to that. So the public somehow didn't like that. So there's nothing free, and that's you know, Mickey was very clear in her, even with reasonably green-looking technologies, nothing is truly green and nothing is truly costless. What I suggest to the Prime Minister is that first, there are no silver bullets and no easy solutions. And that, you know, we have many experts, and every expert is in love with the technology that they develop or work on, and you know, that's great. But unfortunately, there's so far no technology emerged as a clear winner. And you know, I'm sure that there are people here from different companies. If you ask them, there is a solution to all the world's problems. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't go and think strategically, and what we need to do is to use risk management. We need to look for robust solutions that if we invest additional money today, and every green technology is going to be more expensive than just pumping gas or putting coal into the you know, generating electricity, for example. It's just the fact of life. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it, but it just means that we have to be very careful, because it's not our money that we're spending. Germany, with all due respect, fit in the tariff and spent about 75 billion euro on putting things on their roofs, and at the cost of about $1,000 per ton of CO2 reduction. I mean, there are ways way cheaper to reduce CO2 emissions. And it's true they have a lot of industry, etc., but this is a very heavy toll. So I'm not sure that we want to follow fads that have been started in other countries. Having said that, given that I'm sort of been involved in bringing up the policy for the next 20 years, what guided us, I'm not going to go into it because you're going to see this in next week or the week after that in the government. What guided us is the fact that what we want to do is to be conscious to the cost, be conscious to the fact that costs are declining, and therefore when you pre-committing to 20 years of whether it's financed by public money or whether it's financed through feed-in tariff, there's not that much difference in my opinion. But you have to be careful what are you pre-committing to, and if you can wait a year or two when the price is going to go down by 30%, then it's not necessarily a bad thing. On the other hand, if you wait forever, then nothing happens. So you have to find a balance between these two. Two more things. First of all, we can't compete with the big boys on the scale of investments. We cannot just invest in generic technologies in which we have no comparative advantage in any, you know, national lab in the U.S. or with you know, $50 to $100 billion budget, or a national lab in China with, you know, 50,000 engineers. We're not going to win that race. What we have to, it's the difference between Korea and Israel in ICT. Koreans put huge subsidies into building fabs, and now they are, or Taiwan, for example, and now they're leaders in their respective industries. We put $20 million and created the startup nation. Okay, that's our comparative advantage, and so that's I think is what we need to do here, and we do have a lot of comparative advantage in various clean tech technologies. The last thing that I want to say is that you know, energy savings. The government appointed a committee which was headed by the Chaim Shani, who's the Director General of the Ministry of Finance, which sat down for 8 months and came up with detailed recommendations on how to bring down the energy use by 20% by the year 2020, and it's been implemented already. So I think we are very aware of that, and This is something that we need to continue. And there's, by the way, there was a campaign, advertising campaign there in finance, budgeted as well. And finally, with these smart meters, that's a great idea. That's what Better Place is trying to do. That's part of their business strategy.